It says go. So we're going. We're going, okay? And the trumpets will flip and sound. That is right. Hi, Candy. How are you doing this evening?
Okay, I'm good.
Good. I already know she's good because little secret we'll let you in on. I actually talked to her for a while before now, but here we are. And tonight's podcast, obviously, you can tell it's called the title, "The Trump Pets Will Sound." Now, who here can guess what we might be referring to when we say this? I just want to hear a guess. Anyone have a guess on or as to what and why this tonight's title is "The Trump Pets Will Sound"? I know somebody had to watch the news yesterday. And we might be like waiting. I think we have 3 people watching right now, but I know one of you know. Argo, hey kids. Hey kiddo,
Hi,
how are you? How you doing? I haven't not heard from Argo in a while. I
how
hope
you
you're doing.
doing?
So Argo, what do you think about the trumpets will sound? The trumpets will sound. Because I mean, I'm going to reiterate, I voted this time just to see where it went. But I mean, did you see yesterday's news at all, or any of the tweets that went out at all? I'm just curious because I try not to watch the news, but I am definitely a partaker of the conspiratorial type channels, and this is how I found out. And I'm like, to no surprise, but the Illuminati card game already said so. But yeah, kind of that. Oh, I just realized that we don't even have I'm looking at the YouTube channel here, and it's like not actually showing us live, but Argo's here, so we must be live. But yeah, anyone who's with us tonight? Anyone say hey, hi, ho? You can even say hey, dum dum if you want. I am good with that. Just don't call Candy that though. That's rude. So
He said it's
and
like an apocalypse out here. Towns are burning. Yep, it's
yeah,
crazy.
aren't they? No, man, the dew is really feeling heavy. The dew is really feeling quite heavy these days, isn't it? DEW, do, do I diddy diddy dum diddy dum. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down, right? Directed energy.
Yeah,
We
that's
feel
what I
great
don't. I
today.
don't get with this, with all these fires. It's like, okay, why can't you geoengineer some gum rain,
I know they can use a DEW,
right?
but they will let everything else, like, you know what, you're going to burn to the ground. Fire hydrants empty, the local reservoirs empty. Aloha, thank you very much. Gone. And by the way, they've got some precious plans going on in Lahaina. They got some really strategically planned buildings coming up, moving on up into the big times. You know, just I'm being sarcastic. I am so being sarcastic. So, but that's okay. That's okay. I show the numbers here jumping around, and I'm not surprised because if it's 10:23 my time, then in Candy's time, it's 11:23. And so, whoever else, if you're the East Coast or Central Time, I know it's late, but that's the story of my life. We're trying, and not going to stop trying. So, I've had a bit of a go around the past few days on a Facebook platform. I believe it's called Chemtrail Pilots Anonymous. Not to be mistaken for contrail. This is for entertainment purposes only. We are just having some live action role play going on right here and right now. So, you know, just in case the algorithm wants to join us, because it will. But with that said, I was telling Candy earlier, I've had a lot of altercations, if you want to say, or interactions, whatever you want to call them, with some individuals on that in particular platform, which I was explaining to Candy. There are trolls planted everywhere, and this, my friends, is one of them, big time. Calling people like us that do believe that There are chemical trailings, not to be mistaken for contrails. Live action role play, totally for entertainment purposes only. But and trying to assume and make the assumption that we're so moronic, and they flat out said that moron, that idiot, referring to me, thinks that there are these chemicals in the sky. Calling me every name in the book with a beautiful vocab. Apparently, some of them commercial pilots, single engine airplane pilots. I'm like, you know what, Captain Kangaroo, just shush, because you are so pumped your own self, your own reasoning, and nobody's even talking to you. Nobody said your airplane farted out chemicals. Not one single damn person said your airplane had gas and farted out chemicals that gave me Alzheimer's. Nobody said that. But they are so sure of themselves that they wanted to reiterate that I must have said that. And that's okay. That's okay, because opinions are like what? Exactly. Gaseous chemical trailing. So with that said, though, I'm gonna try to be nice. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. But we've learned a lot over all of our years. Candy, myself as well, all of you. There are some things going on here that is flipping wrong, okay? And I'm going to reiterate, the Trump pets will sound, and they are. There are a few of them, and then there's some that are not pets and not even fond of Trump. But something's sounding off. And Candy, I will let you go ahead and reiterate on what we were talking about earlier, and let you go ahead and just kind of put your 2 cents or 50 cents worth, because your change is bigger than mine. So if you wouldn't mind, I am going to put you on the platform.
What are you talking about as far as what I saw in the sky?
What? Yes, thank you. Like what we've seen, what we've all experienced, and we all have, but.
Right. Well, and honestly, I try to not even focus on, because I don't want to give it that power.
Right.
But sometimes it's like you just cannot help but I'm like, it's obvious, okay? So we go to the home improvement center, and I'm outside, I look up and I'm like, oh my God. It was just so many trails, just like it looked like a checkerboard. There was just so many trails all the way across every which way from Sunday. And I was just like, oh my God. First of all, again, I took pictures, which I don't hardly ever do that anymore, but it was just so obvious. And I'm like, first of all, obviously, you don't have that many planes that fly that close together where they can create a checkerboard of trails across the sky.
Tic tac
It
toe,
doesn't happen.
3 in a row.
It just doesn't happen commercially. Okay, that
right.
There's no way they would have set them on that path to do that. So obviously there's not a bunch of planes doing that. So it's obviously 1 or 2, because there's no way that many planes could cross that close to each other. It's not going to happen. So, okay, so if you've only got a couple of planes, then they're not spraying water vapor. What would be the purpose of that? Because obviously you can see that it's not multiple planes. So what is the purpose of spraying water vapor? So obviously it's not water vapor. So that only leaves one other thing. So, I'm sorry, but how can you deny that what is right in front of your face? And I was just, I just don't even know, because like I said, I try to not think too much about it. I try to stay focused on the things that I can change or make a difference in. But sometimes it's like, it's in your face, okay? You can't get any more obvious than that. And anyway, I came home, posted it on Facebook, and I'm sorry, I am sick and tired of people putting these political figures, it doesn't matter which ones, up on a damn pedestal when that crap's going on. Obviously, which you can see. So I went out, I posted the pictures, and I said, you want to make America great again? Stop this SHIT. and I hashtag Trump,
Thank you.
Elon Musk,
Or some would
and
use asterisk, 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 asterisk.
right, and Robert Kennedy. So I'm like, no, it's like, and everybody, you're so worried about whether you think they're going to come for you. Guess what? It doesn't matter. You're getting poisoned every single day, and you're going to sit back and just not say or do anything. I can't. I just can't. So no,
Yeah,
I had that right.
that's
So
exactly what most will do. Or they'll make
yeah,
the
we're fighting.
argument in their own
We're
defense.
fighting for our lives, and if our voice is the only thing that we have to fight with, then you have to use the weapons you have. Okay. Oh God, I
Exactly
can't
right.
even.
It's a frustrating battle, and it's an ongoing battle, and it's a never ending battle. And I think, sorry, let me adjust this. I think that the one of our biggest downfalls within the human race is being like on the defensive side, always assuming that everything's directed at us or pointed at us. Or I mean we have been raised within this realm of, lots of shady things going on, and different people employed in certain areas, and even I myself in the field that I am within, and the legalities that I am involved within. People could point fingers at anyone in this day and time, but I think that people they get but as hurt and assume that these fingers are being pointed at them, when we're all part of this human race trying to survive. We're trying to figure out, why is everyone getting sick? Why are we suffering? Why this pain? What's going on? We know that these tests have been ran. We know that we're keen and responsible enough to make the observations ourselves. We have done so. We've documented it. We didn't just raise our hands until we were called upon. I spent 90% of the time in the corner in grade school. I am not going to lie. Everyone knows that. But, when you ask questions, that's where you go. And here's the funny thing. As an adult, we still get sent to the corner when you ask questions, or you question what we've been told. When you raise concern where concern should be raised, because we're tired of sitting with our butts planted firmly in the desk, and we're tired of having to raise our hands before we can speak or ask the question. We're tired of having these things shoved down our throats given just a simple name, like, well, it's called this or it's called that. Or did you memorize that? Raise your hand if you memorize it and you're going to get a good grade. Or the ones that simply don't know. And keeping in mind, we're all different. We're all mentally, physically, and our bodies are structured different. Nobody's going to be learning on the same level, right? But learning is learning. Studying is studying, and memorizing is flipping memorizing at the end of the day. Hi, Ronald Layton. Hello, Kim Blanchard. And at the end of the day, that's what we've done. We have memorized. We have memorized and memorized and memorized. We never looked for ourselves. We've never done the math. We've never done the footwork. But I know a lot of people, including myself, that have read some good books and some structured, material. But does that mean that we know what's going on? It doesn't. And do we 100% believe that our government is being truthful and honest? Because they've been so all this time, all these years, they've been so honest to us and giving and protecting and loving of us. Said nobody freaking ever, okay? Nobody ever. Joe, Joe, can you please call Joe, can you call? Hello, Joe. Can you call me? It's my turn. I have the answer. Lise, go to the corner. Go to the corner right now. So, but that's exactly how it works, guys. And you guys know this. You know this. And so, again, you get the ability to raise the awareness on these social media platforms, and they're all different. You don't know who's going to be there. You don't know what kind of walk of life they've walked in or on, and you don't know what their mindset is. But what you do know is what's in your heart and what you've studied and what you know. But is it not obvious that this whole world keeps us fighting amongst each other. Like we're at battle constantly. We are not getting along, and they want to make sure of it. They want to make sure that it's the battle of the fittest by God, or fittest by God. They want to make sure that we're going to battle each other because while we're doing so, they're doing something different. And when I say they, this is a whole entity and realm of individuals, not one in particular, but many, because Satan fell. The fallen ones fell. They have been here from day one. They never left, okay? They never left. They have been here. They're not going nowhere. And for us to believe, like, yeah, I'm spiritual, or yeah, I'm religious, or yeah, I believe in, all of the cuneiform tablets or Dead Sea Scrolls, or even the Bible, because I know a lot of you are questioning it as well. And trust me on this one, the Bible has some amazing things in it, but there is a lot of mistranslation going on. That's okay though, because you know what? The sermon's right here. It is right here within your heart, your realm, so, and you can figure it out. You don't even have to question it. You were born with that. You were born with discernment. You were born with the ability to know right from wrong. You were born with the ability to look up in your dang sky and wonder why the hell there's a checkerboard going on at a very low elevation. And even though that elevation can be debatable, not even the point. The point is, why there? Why right there? Why so many? And why nowhere else? And when you're nowhere close to an airport anywhere, you're in the middle of Podunk, Egypt, and everyone wants to call you a hillbilly. And by the way, I live on Country Hicks Lane, and my last name is Hicks. And you can thank my daddy for that. And I own it. But that does not give you the right to tell me I know nothing. I'm just, insignificant. Because I know enough. And I've poured my heart and soul into it, as has Candy. And Candy, here's another thing I would like you to, and I know we've talked about this, and I've had you talk about it before, but if you wouldn't mind speaking, referring to that day when you had walked out and the webbings that had come from above and all over the yard and everything, if you wouldn't mind, I would really appreciate you, speaking to others that might be here this evening, because nobody makes this up. Nobody has time to make this up. We're adults. We have jobs. We have things to do. Some of us don't have husbands, wives, nothing, but I work my ass off every day. But the thing is, nobody's pulling this right out of their ear holes or bottom holes. They're not. This is being talked about for a reason. None of us knowing each other, okay? It's because we know there's something big time going on, and we're ill from it. Some of us are dying from it. I'm just saying. So Candy, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to put you up again. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I think it's important that people hear this.
Well, and I got another story I want to add to it too afterwards, but I was getting up to go to the doctor one morning, and I walk out my front door and I looked, and my porch, all my trees, my yard, just everywhere, just was covered in webbing. And I was just just blown away. I'm like, it was literally hanging from the trees. And I was like, oh my God. And back then, I was still living in a state of fear at that time. So that really is when you're already living in fear and you know things and you walk out and you see something like that. I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't believe I was just had to go out my door that day. So I leave the house and I'm driving through the neighborhood. I'm looking, my whole neighborhood was completely saturated. It was just, it went forever. And I was just like, oh God. And that was the day I actually went in to the doctor's office, and I go in and the nurse asked me, she's like, will you be getting a flu shot today? And I was like, hell no. And I was like,
I used to.
I was like, let me show you what I come out of my house to this morning. And she's like, oh, she's like, you know about Kim, the trails in the sky? And I was like,
those. This is for entertainment purposes only. You can speak freely, Candy. We've already covered that base.
She starts showing me her pictures, and
right.
come to find out, my nurse already knew about it. So me and her became Facebook friends. Well, a couple days later, she was the one that actually sent me the message that said, "Have you ever heard of Morgellons?" And I was like, no. She's like, "Look up trails and Morgellons." And when I
Mm-hmm.
did, I was just like, what in the heck? I was like, so she was the one that actually opened my mind up to what was going on with my body because she knew. And so
Right.
that's another long story. But anyway, the it was the thing that made me understand what was going on with my body. And then I was just blown away at that. But that was
Right.
one incident. And then another
That
time,
was years ago when
yeah,
that happened, right?
right. And then another time, we had a big, huge storm coming where we had the kids at the house. So we actually winded up evacuating. And so when we came back, my husband went to work the next day. And I mean, I went out, was driving around the neighborhood just to assess, um, just to look at all the damage and stuff done from the storm that we had had. And I live in the woods, a lot of farms around me. And I'm telling you what, the farmlands, the light poles, the webbing was just like, so anytime you have like a big storm coming, you look for things afterwards because guess what? What goes up must come down. And so normally when they have these weather things where there's a lot of things that's moisture coming from the sky, guess what it's going to bring down with it? So
Exactly.
everything was complete. The farms, I see the farmers out there on their tractors, trying to get their farms straightened out again after the weather. And they're riding through all of this webbing that was everywhere. And like I said, it was just strung from one light pole to another. And the farms was completely covered. And I'm like, my God, and everybody's going to be
Right.
eating that. I was like, because there was corn and cabbage and potatoes, and I was like, holy crap, this just like, oh, scary
You know,
stuff.
it's sad because I mean the deal is, sorry, let me put myself here. So the
Oh,
deal
as soon as
is
you
that
go.
not everyone has walked in the same shoes. Not everyone has experienced or witnessed the same things. And if you are or so happen to be the pilot flying above, how would you be aware? Because 90% of your time is consumed by flying. And I'm sorry, my dad and my brother and myself, very familiar. Single engine airplanes, not a problem, okay? But just the awareness should be there. The awareness of your surroundings and knowing when you were little and you looked up at the clouds, and just because you recognized or remembered the names, that's a cirrus cloud. That's a hokey pokey cloud. That's a fluffy. Get over the fact that you know that they were named because that's just dumb. You know what? I know a person that has a dog named Devil. Doesn't mean the dog's the devil, okay? There are so many scenarios. Just because something has a name doesn't make it that's okay though. That is okay. That's a cirrus cloud. It's okay. Everyone knows that's a cirrus cloud. It's fine, mom. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Why is it a cirrus cloud?
And
Why? Why is it fluorescent white? Hmm?
yeah, something else I wanted to make sure to tell everybody too. It's like when you know there's a big storm coming and
Wormwood.
there's lots of rain gonna fall, just go outside and hang a white pillowcase or a white sheet or a white tablecloth or even a men's button-up white shirt. Okay, I've done it with a brand new one. Took it out of the package, hung it up outside. Let the rain
Yeah.
hit it. Afterwards, you go look and see what came from that rain, okay? Because I'm telling you,
Yep.
if it's white,
Anyone
it's
that knows
probably
me knows
water.
I'm an animal rescue. I rescue wildlife, domestic, you name it. I rescue animals, including ex-husbands. Okay, that wasn't funny, but it's a true story. But I mean, the point is, I'm a country girl. I live in the country. I garden. I'm all about like sustained living. I love to grow my own food. I love to rescue animals. Animals are more loving and kind and unconditionally loving at that than any human I've ever met. My whole life has been a disaster up until I realized and I woke up the things going on around me. But when you do walk out to your water dishes, or like you said, and you see this floating nonsense, hence the fog that we've had lately all over God's green earth. They call it the fog, and it's like, oh, we've always had fog, we've always had earthquake, we've always had with this, and we always had the fires, we always had a little bit of something, something. But stop it with your trained nonsense and listen up. We might have always had this, that, or the other, but ask yourselves why, and ask yourselves why now in abundance, and then pay attention to your weather radar. Pay attention to your flight finder. Pay attention to Google freaking Earth. Those are the things where technology actually does come in a wee bit handy. Just do yourself a favor and pay attention. Look closely. Don't make the assumption. Don't make a little, I learned that in school. I already know the answer. I'm the smartest kid in the class. No, you're not. You were never that. None of us were. You're never going to be the smartest kid in the class, even now. None of us. But you can become smarter and more educated by just being aware of your surroundings, okay? But again, when your water dishes are filled with nonsense, anyone that's on my Facebook, clearly saw, like, a week and a half ago, got this daytime raccoon out there wandering around. I had to actually pull off. I almost hit it. And I'm thinking, all these high school kids are going to be getting out of class here in about 10 minutes, if that. They're going to be driving down the road and they're going to swerve to miss this raccoon, which is nocturnal, probably distemper or rabid or something, or it could be old age. Not even the point. And Lord knows I took some hits for that one. There's always a Karen or a Kevin in every group that's going to tell you, you shouldn't do it. Oh, no, but you did. Oh, when it bites you, you don't even know. Just shut up. Just shut the hell up, okay? I'm done with your nonsense. My Lord God above guides me. I go by my heart and my whole realm of myself at this day and time with the things I've seen and I know. I'm guided by him. Okay, but this raccoon is out midday on I-10, Interstate 10, major highway, guys, major interstate. And this raccoon's looking at me for help, and I know it's looking at me for help, and I can tell it's old and sick. It's both, Rabid, I don't think it was rabid, probably distemper. Not even the point. The point is animals are acting differently. Be aware of your surroundings. Look around. Your animals act like different. If they are looking one way, pay attention. Look that way too, because there's a reason for it. But by gosh, don't discount the things that people are telling you and that they're saying. And I'm sorry, but I've seen this fog. I know what's in it. I know what's going on. I don't know exactly why it's going on, but nobody on God's green earth said you pilots are poisonous, because that would mean your little wee bitty families are getting poisoned too by you. And we all know we're not stupid. The ain't gonna do that, okay? We know this. We're not dumb. It doesn't even take an education to know that, okay? So pull your heads out of your pompous, arrogant, oh my gosh, she's pointing the finger at me. None of us have pointed the finger at anyone. We're trying to figure things out. We are trying to figure out a problem that Candy clearly, clarified for you guys what is going on, what she's witnessed, what she's seen, what I've seen. And when you see this webbing covering all of God's green earth, there's a freaking problem, yo. Okay? 1 + 1 = 2. When there are these things and you got people worldwide, round, flat, SpongeBob, squishy britches, I don't give a crap, worldwide, singing the same song, saying, what the hell? Tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row here. Hodgepodge mess of nothing. Nonsense. 10,000, 30,000, 5,000. I don't give a crap if you can do your measures or not. When you're playing tic-tac-toe up there, you better pay the freaking A attention, because it's about time that you do, okay? Because I am tired of it. She's tired of it. And everyone around the world is tired of it. quite literally, you're going to die one way or the other. We're all going to pass one way or the other. But do you want to pass in peace, or do you want to pass by not putting up a fight? What do you want
quietly,
to do?
not saying anything or doing anything,
Yeah,
another
you
thing
want to
too.
just say, I mean, I had someone comment on my Facebook, my own personal, say, yeah, but I mean, what's it going to do? Why? What? Actually, I've had two. We won't even go with my ex's, whatever. So it's like, yeah, but what's it going to do? I mean, what does it matter? Why does your vote count? Why does it matter if your dog looks sick but nobody else wants to do it? Everything freaking matters. Like, let me tell you why it matters. It matters because every little step forward to either detoxing your body or healing your soul or raising the awareness and spreading it might come one step closer to people like, by gosh, there is nothing I can do about that up there, but I see it. And then what would you do after that if you see it raining down on your damn parade? What you gonna do? I don't know. Look for a cure. Look for something that might save you from that.
Yeah.
Detox, eat healthy. There's a lot of things you could do. So don't ask stupid questions because that's ignorant. I don't
I,
think Thomas Jefferson or anyone else in the past were asking questions like that. They were figuring out the answers. And that's what we should all be doing. We
I
become
had
a
people,
lazy society, and I'm tired of it.
I had people trying to convince me that that was spider webs. I said, first of all, there's no way that many spiders could have dropped that much webbing and not have a spider nowhere around nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Not
there's
to
no
mention it had to be one hell of a size spider, right?
way. Oh, and there, you know
Ronald,
what? And
Ronald
if they were
just
little,
made
guess
that.
what? I would have seen a spider somewhere along the way. You're talking about miles and miles of just completely covered in it. I'm like, where's the
Along came a
spiders?
spider and sat down beside her and frightened
Right?
Miss Muffet away. So Ronald just said, I have to go help my mom to get to the restroom, thanks to the oncologist. Remember, if it's really fog, it will leave real water on your windows and grass. Thank you, Ronald. Very, very, very educated and logical thinking there. And I am going to pray for your mom, and I'm going to pray for you. I know you have your hands full, and you know what? The Lord isn't finished with us. You're a warrior, and your mother's a warrior, and this is a meat suit. We're in meat suits right now. We don't understand any differently. It's hard to fathom any differently. But make no mistake about this. Your body is made up of nothing but a massive energy, light, and love. And it is compacted into this physical form, all of us. And when this meat suit, this body passes away, make no mistake that that energy, that ball of energy that I see daily outside too, by the way, we're no different. We go on. There's a God, there's a creator, and there is something way better beyond the blue. Look away beyond the blue. As he said, he is calling us home one day. And our point and purpose here is to spread awareness, spread truth. We're not cookies. We're not cutters. We're not even cookie cutters. What we are is us. We're unique in our own energetic form. And we were not put here to fit in and blend in. And by golly, I'm so grateful. And Candy, I know you feel the same, that we don't fit in. There was a time when Candy's family begged her to not talk about what she sees or what she's going through. There was a time when, the time still, that my own, we can't bring that up. When I'm around my family, mom's the word. I have to be normal. I cannot speak of the values and the sacrifice of Christ and the things that were written about. I cannot speak about those or I'm crazy. I'm okay with that. But I always put that little bit and push it through, just like Candy has. Say, well, you're going to listen one way or the other, whether you're liking it or not. And whether you're firm, gentle, or whatever, keep doing what all of you are doing because that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and
God didn't create
honestly,
within us a spirit of fear.
if you think your
Go on,
voice don't
Candy.
matter, I said, if you think your voice don't matter, let me tell y'all, I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you, it matters because guess what? If I hadn't spoke up to my doctor the very first day I met him, I would not have my doctor that I have right now. So guess what? Yeah,
Exactly.
does your voice matter? Yes, it does.
I mean, we're
You
going to
know?
run into people that don't understand. And think about this. We have done nothing more than have the ideal lifestyle and what we're supposed to be thinking thrust upon us, which is called, in fact, indoctrination, without doubt. Like, oh, you're not vax. Oh, you did this, or oh, you did that. Or oh, wait, you don't fit it. Oh, you have bad clothing. Oh, you got bad breath. You got bad hair. We all got a whole hell of a lot of bad something everywhere, all the way around, and many of us bad attitudes, and a lot of us very, very defensive attitudes. And that includes myself. But here's the deal, Bill. We don't have to do that. We don't have to be that. We need to shed this ideal image that was not ideal from the get go and become and blossom into what we were always meant to be. And that is not too hard to figure out. How hard is it to be a good and decent human being? And how hard is it to admit that there are some things going on upstairs that you know for a flippin' fact wasn't like that back in 1970, this or that, or for some of you, 50s or 60s. You might be old, but you are not beyond learning, and definitely not beyond discernment and paying attention. It is not that damn hard. It's not. Spend some time outside, spend time with Mother Nature, spend time with God, and look and use the heart that He planted within you and just understand, because I'll tell you, the answers are there, the wisdom's there. And some of you are right. Well, what's it going to do? What's it going to do if we talk about this? You're right for thinking about that, but you're wrong for not understanding what it's going to do. It's about preparing your heart, your mind, and your soul. It's about preparing yourself for eternity. And I don't know where we got lost along the way and how we forgot that. And I think that's the most mind-blowing part of all for me.
Yeah, and how are you going to possibly change minds or help people to grow if you say nothing? It just doesn't make any
Say
sense
nothing or
to me
refuse to
anymore.
open up and listen to
Oh,
anything.
like, holy
I
moly,
mean,
man.
they've got us exactly where they want all of us. They want some of us not listening, not learning, and not growing, and shaming others that have a different opinion. And that is obvious. And then they've got the other side that has seen, has known, has experienced. They're sick, they're dying, they've been near death, they've experienced something traumatic or something that's brought them to their knees. And all of a sudden they're awake and they see things differently, and not to be mistaken for crazy, just to be mistaken for spiritually aware and spiritual growth that we didn't ask for. We didn't want to be here. Nobody wants to be picked on. Nobody. But then you have that side, which is the minority. But the funny thing is, that's where your strongest portion of humanity is with that little tiny, minute little bit of soldiers and warriors. That's where your strength is. That's who's going to march into that war and be at the head, the front of it all. So you might want to rethink some things. You just might, because we don't have a spirit of fear. We didn't ask for this. We're not perfect. We are sinners. We're flawed through and through. We didn't ask to be here, but we're doing what we were told. And it's that simple and that complicated. But Trump, I'm going to ask you right now, please do not tweet yourself as a golden idol in Gaza. And Elon Musk, I already know that you're not human for whatever reason. I just think I know. There are fallen. I'm not saying aliens. So, oh my gosh, she thinks of UFOs and aliens. Well, by the way, those are the same damn things, but the mind is that big. And so that's okay. So I can draw you a picture. But the thing is, Trump, you want to lead a nation. You've done a good job so far. And you did a good job then. But you can't be so bullying and pompous. And we also know who you are, because the puppet show's real and the Illuminati cards already had your face on it. Already had your face on it. As well as Obama's, as well as Carter's, as well as come on, guys. It's all there. Lahaina is on it. The Twin Towers on it. Look it up. Go ahead and Google you. This is the first time I say Google you some of that. Look up the Illuminati card game invented by Steve Jackson in 1994. Okay, 1994. Don't remove those numbers from the brain. I know it's conditioned, but you can break those chains that bind you. Google it. Look at every one of those cards, and you tell me how they knew the Boston Marathon was going to happen, Oklahoma City bombing was going to happen, Trump as president in 1994, Obama. Wasn't that after 2000? What about those twin little towerly twinkle things that went tinkle, dinkle, ding down? And, 9/11 said what? In 1994 on a card game, plain as day, airplanes hitting exactly that exact spot on one tower and then the other. Count the floors, count the stories if you must. And they're like, oh yeah, but the Simpsons did that too. It's like, it's not an argument. How the hell would the Simpsons or the card game know? That's because Satan is the ruler and the leader and the principalities of evil here on earth, and you're welcome. You've been fooled. Real enough for you yet? Because I don't know what more real could be. Like, I really don't know what would do that for you. I don't.
Not only that,
Yes.
I don't know if you remember the old dollar bills. The reason why they're replacing the new dollar with new dollar bills. Guess what? The old ones, you fold them up and you could see exactly on there what the plans were for those buildings.
You know, that is so true. And we've talked about this. Here's a funnier though part, that the pyramid with exactly 333 bricks, 33rd degree Freemasons, I don't know, Knights Templar, ring a bell,
With the eye on top.
Egyptians.
With the eye on top.
The eye of Horus winking at your ass. And you spend it like it is. In God we trust. By golly, it is, but just not in your God. And I
Right.
myself included, I take that dollar billio and I spend it wherever I go. You know why? Because we have to. But that's their way of indoctrinating us and symbolically initiating us into a satanic religion. And we fell for it hook, line, and sinker. So trust me, I assure you, it wasn't about the little pokey poke. It's been a little buildup all along the way since birth. Since the moment you came out of your mama's womb, the doctor slapped you on the hiney and said, hold on now, I got to give it a vaccination real quick, and then you can hold your baby. Hello, wake up. And again, spending your dollar with a pyramid, the all-seeing eye of Horus, and I like idolism, like everything, all the things that we were told not to do, not to worship. We're worshiping the money. Yeah, we're forced into it. But you need to be aware. You need to be aware of it. I don't care that we're forced into it. I have to use my dollar too. I had to use one just today to buy a Sonic drink half off. Okay, that's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. But don't play dumb and don't be non-aware of what's going on here in your world and what's been going on here the entire time, well before our own grandparents and our great-grandparents were ever born. Those little choo-choo trains holding the orphans from one end of the earth to the other weren't distributing those orphans for no reason. There was a world here in the USA, as well as all over, long before what they've told you. And that is the truth. Why do you think they're digging up like Gobekli Tepe? Like, hello? They're saying that's way more older than anything else. But we were cavemen, unga bunga, dude. Unga bunga, we were cavemen. At that time, especially. Like, all we knew was to club our wives or husbands over the head, drag them by the hair, and do the dirty, because it wasn't called making love. It wasn't called bull crap. We cannot replicate any of these ancient ruins to this day that we have now, we've seen. And don't play dumb. I don't care if you have money to travel and not go see it. I've seen a lot of it in person. I've been to Greece. And let me tell you what, when you go to the Parthenon, those doorways are quite large. And everything inside that Parthenon is nothing your size. And the Bible said what? Or scripture, or the cuneiform tablets, which all was translated from that to the biblical manner, as well as what's left out, because the Vatican made sure of that. But it said what? There were giants in those days. Don't forget it. And your damn dinosaurs, you believe in those, right? Digging up those bones. I'm going to go to the museum, see me a dinosaur. It's a freaking lizard. It's a lizard that was gigantic. There were gigantic humans also. You know what else there were? Gigantic trees. Just look into, Ezekiel, Daniel, any of the, I could go on and on. Enoch especially. Everything was gigantic then. Everything's different. Your mountain ranges are fallen trees. If you can't figure that out, I don't know what to tell you. But I can tell you this. Get you a little mapsy of, I don't know, let's say the 1600s. And look where those mountain ranges were that they so primitively mapped out. And they're like mountain, mountain, mountain. They're all freaking tree stumps. Every freaking one of them. Bible. Tree stumps. Your mountain ranges are tree stumps. Why? Because they freaking were. You know, they're like, oh, look at that. Like the Devil's Tower. It just farted itself up into an inside out butthole. You guys are just insane. Your scientists are even more insane, but it's called indoctrination. It's called conditioned. Break the damn chains that bind you. The Devil's Tower is not an inside out butthole that farted its way up from the earth. It is an ancient biblical tree stump. And there were giants in those days. And when your atmosphere is different, your whole ozone, there was no ozone layers like we have. When it's different, you're going to have different. But it was written about. But they have done a damn good job telling us that that's a lie. And we're falling for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Not I. And not Candy Nelson. Dang it.
Hey,
all right, my love. I am going to let you go. No, it's late there, and I do love you guys. And I know I'm harsh and abrupt and sometimes hard to understand. I don't expect you to understand with me. I just hope that you stand with me. That's all. Love you, dear. Gonna hang this puppy up, and Joe, thank you. Joe said, remember Madonna's jacket with the eye? Oh, yeah. You know, that symbolism, Joe, is all around us.
A lot of those movie stars have, like, clothing with all that crap on it. You know, I'm like.
Well, they sold their souls to the devil. You look at Taylor Swift and her sweet, wholesome little self that came into the industry. And I wish she wouldn't have, because she was a sweet, wholesome little girl. And then you look at how they end up and what their last videos are. And P. Diddy, too. I mean, you can see they're wearing red, they're wearing black. It's demonic. It's symbolic through and through. They are, you know, showing idolism and devil worship. And when you're seeing these things, even the Pepsi Cola with the red and the blue, our voting is red and blue. It's your yin and your yang. It's your as above, so below. It is your everything. And where there's one, there's the other. And we need to be aware of that. When there is one, there cannot be light without darkness, and there cannot be darkness without light. There is one, there's love and hate. There's symbolism everywhere. Y'all just need to pay attention. I need to pay more attention. I'm tired of trying to blend in. I don't want to blend in. I don't want to fit in. Obviously, I don't, because I don't get invited anywhere. Where I used to have friends and be the life of the party, I am the party that is not alive anymore. So, but they live. They live. Anyone saw that one? Mm-hmm. Yep. Candy, you are the life of my party, though, and I am just blessed, and I am so grateful. I mean that. I am so blessed that I met you, and that God brought us together.
You hear me? I said, I've been binging for a road trip. I'm like, I need to get out of here.
We need to go. We need to go without a family reunion and too many other people that please and appease. We need to just go, and let me know when you're up to, like, I know you don't fly, but I think we just need to go to Mexico. Something's telling me we need to go to Mexico. I don't know why. I can't even put my finger on it, but
I did actually fly with my daughter when we went to Puerto Rico. Remember?
That's right. That's right.
Wasn't that bad. I
Well,
just like my feet close to the ground.
keep in
Trying to
mind, you're in
run.
Florida, so it's a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah.
No changing of airplanes from where you are. It'd be a straight shot. So, and something tells me we need to go there.
Ugh.
I'm certain of it. So, but we need to go lots of places, mind, body, soul. Just knowing that our Heavenly Father is directing us there and with us the whole way. That's the main thing. But I do love you, and we should talk about that more later.
All
Love
right.
you
Okay.
guys.
Right.
Joe, Ronald, Layton, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you more than you know. And especially sweet, sweet, sweet. Sorry, I said Kim. Kim, am I saying it right? Lord help me right now. Um, Kimberly. Oh goodness,
Blanchard.
what's that?
Kim Blanchard?
Yes, but why did I say Kimberly?
I don't know.
Like that, like for whatever reason, Kimberly is like hard and heavy on me. But I know she goes by Kim, but I'm sure. Well, maybe her name is Kimberly, but whatever reason, Kimberly. There's a reason I said that. I don't know why, but it's a beautiful name, and you're a very special woman. And Melinda, hello. She's so cute. Hi, Melinda. Thank you for joining us. We got a new person that just commented. Her name is Melinda. She said, "Hand pink waving." Back at you, sunshine. Thank you, beautiful soul. Kim, thank you. I know you don't go by Kimberly, but something like hard and heavy hit me. Like, I can't even explain it. I was like, why am I calling her that? And I just couldn't even spit out just Kim. So, Melinda, glad to have you. Glad to have you. Thank you guys so much. I pray that you all have a beautiful weekend and that God restores your peace and hugs you hard and close and lets you know that everything's going to be okay, because everything is going to be okay. And I know that we're all going through some struggles, and all of you are too. And every day is a struggle, but you're not alone.
Yeah.
You are
And
not
everybody,
alone. And
yeah, everybody needs to pray for these people in these paths of all these fires too, because that's just crazy. I'm
and pray for what's causing those that dew in the sky.
mm,
Wink. And this is for entertainment purposes only again. But I mean, we're talking about fires. We've got 2 volcanoes erupting at once, which is a very first. We got Yellowstone also being active and doing some very strange things across the path. And I've been tracking the radar, and
mhm.
all of this here in just the U.S. alone is nothing compared to what's coming. And it is, in fact, engineered. I don't care if anyone wants to call it geode or chemtrail, Kimberly trailed. No, no pun intended, Kim. Or, I don't care what you guys want to call it, but there's something big coming. We were told, we were informed, we were literally forewarned. There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, and on earth perplexity among nations at all the things that are coming upon this world. There will be the roaring of the seas, the tossing of the waves. People will be fainting with fear, not knowing of the things that are coming. Everyone's going to be scared shitless, guys. That's what that's saying. Excuse my French. I'm sorry, Lord. See, I'm still working on myself, but the whole point is he gave us the signs to look for. He didn't say, I'm making these signs. He didn't say, they're making these signs. He didn't say who was giving you the signs. He just said, these are the signs, look for them, because that it is then that you will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds, actual clouds, with power and great glory. And every single eye will see him. I mean, I'll leave you on that note, but I love you guys. Love you, Candy. Get
Yeah,
some
me too.
rest. And
Good night, everybody.
I'm going to try to rest, but there is no rest for the weary, they say. But that's okay. He takes care of us. All right,
All right, we'll see
Melinda, thank you
you
again.
next time.
Joe, Ronald, Kim, I love all of you so much. And
Argo.
Argo. especially Argo.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
guys. Good night. Have a blessed one. I am going to end the stream.